Yo, our global disunity as an African people is going to finish us off. Now, there was a storm that hit the Bahamas last Sunday. They were calling it the Hurricane Dorian, and it was basically like a monster storm. They've never seen such a storm. And we saw the Prime Minister visibly upset as he kind of addressed this news conference warning his citizens. But like, when you look at how he's speaking, it's almost like he knows what's up. Just take a look at this.
Most saddened and worst day of my life to address the Bahamian people. Many have remained behind, and still there are individuals within the western area who still refuse to leave. I can only say to them that I hope this is not the last time they would hear my voice, and may God be with them.
You see what a heavy heart he had? I mean, that was just so heartbreaking when I saw that. And so what happened, it's like, a lot of people are questioning whether the hurricane, which, was controlled, because we do know that certain governments do have the power and the mechanism and the technology now to control the weather. Is that what happened in Bahamas? Because a lot of people are saying it was just the most bizarre storm that happened, and it has totally decimated the Bahamas. So what happened is, like, the storm was actually, if you look at it here, the storm direction, it was coming down where the hurricane was moving rapidly, right? Then all of a sudden it stalled over the Bahamas, and we've never seen a hurricane stall. Usually a hurricane will stall for 2 to 3 hours. Like, for, if you ask any there's even hurricane specialists, but usually it will stall for 2 to 3 hours and then it will move on. But it hit category 5, right? Which is like the highest category. I think there might be 6, which is just like total decimation, but it hit category 5 and then hovered around Bahamas, not for 2 hours, not for 12 hours, not for a day, but for 40 hours. This is abnormal. It has never been seen before. And a normal hurricane has a speed of like 10 to 30 miles per hour, but this one, by the time it reached Bahamas, it was crawling at 1 mile per hour, and it looked almost like it was being directed. Many people questioned, even former U.S. Marines, a lot of people questioned if the U.S. had actually used HARP to stall Hurricane Dorian over the Bahamas for 2 days straight. And we have to question these things, guys, because, China has actually created a weather system. There's other nations that have created. Where are we Africans? Do we even know? You try and tell a government, how many of our presidents have even heard of HARP? I'm telling you, the game, the rules on the landscape of the global war and the global game has totally changed. Oh. Like, it was almost like something needed to be destroyed, because what has happened is that, the Bahamas and China have allegedly gotten into this very cozy relationship. Let's not forget, the Bahamas is actually only 70 miles from this South Palm Beach, or from Florida. And, China was actually, had already built some ports in Bahamas, but they were also, some were saying that eventually they would have had a military base, which would have been very close to the US. I wonder what China is planning, imagine.
Jesus.